Hello my loves, and welcome back to another reading. We're going to start tonight with the Citadel deck. And I have some incense burning, cedar, what message do you have for us today, Spirit? Oh, there are two here. Okay. They covered each other so well. And a third one? The first thing that comes to mind is the sovereignty we have to walk our paths, doing what we came here to do. I'm seeing the moon here as well as not only inspiration, but very strongly as we're born of the stars. Energy never ends. It just gets changed into something else. So, you know, if you want to call that reincarnation, I mean, I certainly believe in reincarnation, but it's understanding. I think we've come to a point where we are the king of whoever is called to these messages that I've been giving, and it is clear that those of you who are on paths where, well, we've been doing this for a while. We have had multiple iterations of ourselves. We have had multiple times to walk these paths. And this time we are king of ourselves. We are king of what it is we came here to do. And I say that because, you know, if you haven't been here before, I am a singer. I'm a musician. So this is very strongly giving me that imagery of that's exactly what I have been trying to do this whole time. And now I have built up enough wisdom and skill through trying to do this so many times, so many lifetimes here, you know, but now it's here. The light of having walked this path many times and maybe not quite succeeding in the way that we came here to be able to do. But all of this light, all these rays, all these different lives here, lighting our path forward in order to do what we came here to do. I will be using my When Women Had Wings deck next. Oh, there might be a little kitty fight in the house. Hold on. Okay. What do we know? What do we need to know, Spirit, to keep true on this path, to be in this exact alignment, to continue walking this path? The Hanged One. I think what this is telling us is that we've already come to the conclusion of what we need to do to continue walking on this path. And that's not to say that we don't keep learning in these lives. Certainly until the day I die, I hope I keep on learning, not just about the world around me, you know, in this 3D tangible reality, but myself as a spirit, as more than just this human life. I'm definitely seeing this as a confirmation that if you feel that you have been basically in a cocoon, you have come out of that. You have unfurled your wings and you are ready to fly down this path here. So as long as you keep true to what you have learned and what you know that you have become, you know, just be self-reflective and aware in situations, in communicating with other people, because, you know, we are ambassadors, sort of. We are ambassadors of the things that we truly believe on a soul and heart deep level. So we have to present that to the world, you know, like I would love for the world to be so much more, and it is, but there have been so many forces that have tried to keep us apart, but I would love for the world to be so much more community minded, and less sort of like solitary, individualistic sort of thing, you know. So when I speak to people, when I speak to my friends and my family or anybody else who I happen to have a conversation with, even if I don't know them, I try to put that out into the energy, not only of, you know, the sort of spiritual energy around me, but in the words I speak. We are ambassadors of our inner world, which is a reflection of our spirit self. So what else should we know then, if we already know what we're kind of doing here and where we are at? Oh, I'm getting the message to choose another deck because this was specifically meant for that card. And I will be using my Rider-Waite Tarot next. All right. What else should we know about this spirit? Woo, hello. King of Pentacles. We get everything that we want. We get absolutely everything that we want in this 3D physical realm. It is a result of understanding ourselves and understanding the path that we walk. You know, we have the king here. We have the abundance here, you know, an abundance here. When we are in alignment with our truest and highest self, and this isn't to say that if you are struggling financially or in any sort of way in your life with abundance, there are systems in place that have made an incredibly large class of people very poor. You know, you're born into that. That is not something that is anybody's fault. Again, with the individualism, this is not an individual fault. This is a systemic failure. Or, well, not failure, because that is what they want. They want to exploit us. But again, we're getting king energy. We are sovereign in ourselves. We understand ourselves so well. And because we know this about ourselves, because we know what our path is, and, you know, our sword is true. It is pointing exactly where it needs to go. Our song is singing out to those who need to hear it, because we've done the work that is needed in order for the ears to finally turn towards us, to be able to listen to what we have to say, to bring people with us on this path forward. You know, we're all on our own paths, but we can walk together and get ourselves to wherever it is, the destinations that we are all seeking, faster, because we're doing it together. So because of all this, we are able to just have everything. Life becomes so abundant with everything that we can need to take care of our physical selves, so that our spirit self is free to take in the inspiration from above, from, if you want to call it, the gods, from the cosmos, the universe, from spirit. We are free to do this. And, you know, she's, you know, this is a person who is dressed like a ballet dancer. This is somebody who's free to express all of the spirit part of themselves, because we have everything that we need. And it's not that what we need is a pile of gold. No, this King of Pentacles is not sitting on a pile of pentacles. This King of Pentacles understands the true abundance and prosperity that is living life as a living human being. And that's good food, good friends. You know, he can host some good parties up in here and out in the vineyards that are around him. Just a beautiful, wonderful time. You know, musicians, bards, people getting together and sharing stories and inspiring each other. That's what this provides. This provides the ability to be able to do that. Oh my goodness, beautiful, beautiful. This sun here shining its wondrous, joyous rays right onto the King of Pentacles here, onto this land that has been cultivated to be abundant so that he can share it with others. Victory. This is... we're already there, my loves. We are already there. We have already done the work that we have needed to do in order to move forward and to make this beautiful space, not only for ourselves, because our lives are not just for ourselves. Our lives are for our loved ones, the other spirits, kindred spirits, you know, in human form here, or even animal form, planet form, you know, flora, both the flora and the fauna. The earth herself. The earth herself. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. All right. Being pulled to the B Tarot deck. Ooh, hello, right away. Right away, Two of Jars. We had this in our last reading as well. This is celebration. This is coming together with people. This is, you know, it can be lovers, but it's just celebration. People who understand each other. Jars is the cups in this deck. So this is emotions and intuition and deeper understanding of each other. And we see here in this card, this is also, you know, they are cultivating and aiding this community of bees who are, this is in our DNA. They are making DNA strands here. And it is a beautiful, symbiotic, not parasitic relationship between everyone here, even between the land. What did I just say about, you know, the relationships that we have not only with each other or with animals, but with the land itself? Look at how incredibly abundant this place is, you know, and the beautiful landscape in the background. We are, and I'm picking up on the well, I suppose landscaped, but the pruned cypress tree here and the little bushes and the hedge, right? We are supposed to be, oh, what's the word for it? Not shepherds. We are a species who helps mold the land around us, right? We have these, we are able to cultivate the vineyards, but ensure that they have the best growth possible. We put them lined up in their rows, but with the long part of the row facing towards the sun, and with enough space in between them that they get all of the nutrients that they need to be the best damn grape plant there ever was, and they're sitting next to each other, and every single plant is the best damn grape plant there ever was, because we've tended to it. We are gardeners. We are gardeners of this earth. We, and that's in so far as growing things for ourselves to eat, but also in the way that we affect the land around us. And we can be a beneficial animal on this earth, just like the bees are beneficial. If we didn't have bees, 80% of our food would just be gone. We would not have that. And we are that. We are that. And it has been, we have tried to, not, us, the small people, not the great people. And I mean great as in like the worst type of people, just great as in their reputations very much precede them and they do horrid things. But, oh, I lost my train of thought. I was talking about tending the earth. We are gardeners. We don't, we don't do farming, mass farming. We're not supposed to do that, and we naturally would not. We are not mass agriculture, We're not going to deplete the land of its nutrients, kill all the beneficial bugs and all the flora and fauna. That's not what you do in order to create this abundance here. And we know that. You and me, my love, we know that. And that's what we are. We are these gardeners. We are these tenders, to the land and ourselves and everything that is in this 3D reality as a human being. And I'm thinking very much of some of the indigenous tribes here in North America who would create food forests, and unfortunately my European ancestors came over here and could not see the forest for the trees, the forest for all of the food that was growing in it, just everywhere, and they had no idea. And then, came here, wrecked the land, genocide, all those great things. Oh, I'm just going to take a sip. I just got I was thinking in my head, oh, I'm a bit parched. We have been thirsting. We have been thirsting for this, and here we are. We get to come to this space where everything is provided and the time is right for you and me to change the world into what it's supposed to be, to have this victory here, to have this abundance and community and communion, with each other and with the land itself. It's time for us to drink, my love. Whoop. My deck almost fell out of my hand. Princess of Swords. Now this is equivalent to the pages. I know quite a few decks have their pages turned into princesses, so that way it's a little bit more gender equal. Again, I'm picking up on the imagery of abundance here, this springtime energy of we have these beautiful, gorgeous cherry trees in the background, or they could be apples. We have this banner here, this shrine to the bee. An altar I'm seeing, and the altar is the portal But the altar is the land. The altar is this abundance that we have brought into our lives. Again, oh, this is beautiful. Again, back to the Hanged One. Because, and back to the King of Pentacles, because we have everything that we need to physically keep us safe, physically keep us well fed and clothed, just well looked after, you know. And I know it's it's kind of hard to believe because we live in a time with so much noise that's trying to keep us in a panic state. But release yourself from all of the messaging that's around us, you know, all of the messaging that's around us. You know, she's a messenger. She's frazzled. Look at this hair. There's just, it's a movement. She's not going crazy, obviously, but, you know, it's packaged in this nice, package. But if we release the need to hear all of the messages that she has to bring, because they can be fickle, they can be things that don't, we have no ability to do anything about, and it's just too much, you know, which is the point. They're trying to smother us all down so that we can't rise up together, right? But we have all of this abundance, and we understand that we are actually taken care of, that we don't have to be consumers anymore, that we don't have to constantly buy things anymore because we are so abundant. Things that are unnecessary. Oh, throat chakra. I feel like, you know, and it's going to be true no matter what, but there are people here, humans here, you know, those spirits who inhabited those nasty humans, who don't want you to think about this, who don't want you to think about the fact that you do already have basically everything you need. The thing you need the most is community. And then, because you have everything you need, because all of this abundance is here, and this is springtime energy, we have our altar of all of the things that we need to just physically survive and be happy enough. But we have our altar here to actually access our spirit and bring spirit down into this world to help bring us together, to help bring us to this beautiful, abundant place we're trying to go to together, you know, the place that we're on the path to get to. Seven of Pentacles. Yep. And again, like, you know, the pentacle energy here, we have the things that we need. She's very abundant already, right? This is continuing to wait to see what comes of the work that we have been doing. She doesn't have her own shop yet, but she does have a very abundant and very varied items to sell to people that are needed, but also something just nice to have. These look like little honey sweets to me, you know, just all the things that are good in this life, all the things that are good in this life. We are basically right now on our way to getting to the 10 of Pentacles here, but we have to be in our community. We have to really be in our community. And I'll say, I'm being called to say right now, you know, I am somebody who is kind of a bit of a hermit, you know. I love hanging out with friends. I really miss the community that happens when, you know, I was in high school and then college. I really miss being around people who, I mean, more so in college, but like, who were like me, you know, we were all musicians. We were there for music, different aspects of music, but we all came there with a love of music. It is so important to make sure that you are not holding out for a community that is beyond where your locality is. Okay? Again, I speak from my own experience of being a bit kind of isolationist, a bit hermity, and part of it is because I, the social anxiety of like, well, I'm texting them and I don't really know how they're feeling about this, and oh god, they hate me, and blah blah blah, just the silly things. But like, I know in my heart of hearts that the friends that I have, even though we don't all share sort of like the deep interests, some of the very deep interests that I have, they fill my heart with so much joy and happiness. Being together with them, exchanging ideas about things, and we talk about some of the things that are also important to me, although I don't think my particular group of friends I'm going to be able to talk about spiritual things with, or the very sort of deep, intimate things that I think about, and perhaps there won't be somebody I will be able to do that with, but that's okay for that to also remain with me. But there are some things, about living in this world that I talk to my friends about, and we are basically on the same page. We joke that, but we're half joking because we are all kind of serious about it, about like buying some land and building a commune on it, or like a tiny, eco village where everybody has their own little tiny house, and then we have main rooms and stuff like that. But to get back to it, it's just that we have to be woven into our communities. We do owe each other things. We are not individuals who can live without each other. We all provide something for each other in the community. There are all, you just think about pre-industrial times, there are always going to be bakers, there are always going to be tailors. Actually, let's erase that and go back to seamstresses, sewists, mantua makers. There will always be healers. There will always be bards and musicians and artists. There will always be just everybody. There's roles for all of us because we are all born with this innate sort of spiritual path that we are supposed to be on, walking together on. And we need to do that within community. I can't be a musician if I'm not sharing my music. What are you going to be a baker for if you're not sharing all the stuff that you make? Because truly, it is such a waste of time and effort for you to bake one single pastry for you that day, to bake one loaf of bread that day, just for yourself. Because if you bake, a bunch of them to save on the cost of ingredients and save on time, who's going to eat that? It's going to go stale before you can truly enjoy it. And we enjoy things the best, the most fulfilling way when we enjoy them by sharing it with others. Okay. Just wanted to see if they wanted me to use another deck, but I think we're sticking with the bees here, which is appropriate considering they're very communal. Honeybees are very communal. Any last messages about this spirit? We're going on an adventure, babies. We're going on an adventure. This is the start of this new paradigm of living in this world as humans together. You and me, we're going to bring the gifts and the skills that we've built because of those gifts that we've come here with. We are going to take those gifts and we are going to be so bloody abundant because of getting on this right path, because of getting in alignment, because of understanding that we don't need to be consumers to be so rich. The victory is here. The sunflowers are ready to burst with seed, you know, feeding the land around it. That's us. We are feeding the land. We are feeding each other. And we are all going to start on this adventure together. We are helping these bees. You know, we are helping this community of bees. And I'm even seeing his hood right now as kind of wings, you know, just to set off and to go up in the sky. It's time for our lives to become the altar of what our spirits came here to do. And that altar has to be somewhere where others can come and enjoy it as well. So get with your friends, you know, understand that you can't change other people, you know. We have to take people as they are, and love them anyway. We can always sort of, I don't want to say correct, but we can always be a guide for those around us who might be, you know, let's just say somebody is very boomer energy in your group and they like to make jokes that are really like not cool, you know. We can be the guide to try to get them off of that and maybe explain why those jokes are really insensitive, you know. We can guide each other forward. We can bring each other forward on this path to this beautiful, beautiful future that is coming for us. All right. What a gorgeous, gorgeous message. Thank you for being here with me. I am so glad to have you be this little community with me. To mirror each other. I know that I mirror you and you mirror me. And we're all walking together on this path forward to create a new earth, a better earth, an earth that is not only a nice place to live in for just the uber rich, but for all of us. We can all be kings here. We can all be kings here. Thank you for walking this path with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.